In this lecture, we will keep working on arithmetic sequence. This one is to find the sum of the first 10 terms with the third term equals 13 and the fifth term equals 23. Okay. Basically, here we want to understand is that there are two formulas in arithmetic sequence we want to remember. One is the formula right here. The general term a sub n is always the first term plus n minus 1 is always here 1 less than here. Okay, and then times the common difference. That's one formula. Another is the formula of the sum. Okay, yeah, if you remember that all the time will be the first term plus the last term times the number of terms divided by 2. I will write it somewhere here when it goes on. Okay, now for this one, you know, what we need, we want to write out this formula first. Okay, all the time you want, that's the technique you need to do, is for the arithmetic sequence, write down this formula to see what is given and what is not given. For the a sub 3 equals 13, it basically tells us what? If here is 3, then a sub 3 will be 13. So what you want to do is the following thing. a3 equals a1 plus 3 minus 1, which is 2 times d. This is what we get from here. Okay. Basically, when you write down this information formula, then look at those two, you can get an equation in this way. Okay, yeah, it's because a3 is here 3 minus 1. Okay, is the one right here. We know a3, so it's 13. 3 minus 1 we know is 2. So we have a 13 equals a1 plus 2d. That's the first equation you get. Similarly, for a5, you can do the same thing. If you plug in 5 here, a sub 5 will be 23. That will be the second one. a5 equals a1 plus 5 minus 1 times the difference, common difference. a5 we know is 23. a sub 1 we do not know. And then plus 5 minus 1 is 4, which times d. Okay. So you have two equations, two unknown variables. You know, up to this far, it should be easy for us to solve this. Okay. Here is the way I did. I used the second equation, subtract the first equation. So you put negative everywhere. Okay. Yeah, second one, subtract the first one. And then 23, add negative 13, you have a 10 on the left. And here is a1, here is negative a1, you got cancelled. And then down here is 4d, here is negative 2d, so you have a 2d. Okay? Yeah. So let me make this one heavy. You do start 2 stars minus 1 star. Okay? And then the technique again is you want to put negative everywhere and then do the addition. Don't do the subtraction, do the addition. Okay? So 23 plus negative 13 is 10. Add those two, they cancel each other because here is negative. And 4d plus negative 2d is 2d. Then D comes out to be 5. That's easy thing. Because 2 times 5 is 10. Okay. So D comes out. That's a good news. We have a D right here. Okay. So if D comes out, look it back. You know D is 5. Look it back. Then here will be what? 2 times 5, because D is 5 already. 13 equals A1 plus 2 times 5. If you plug in D back there, you see. Let me put here. This is how we get this. You plug in 5 back here. 13 equals A1 plus 2 times D. D is 5. And then 2 times 5 is 10. 13 plus A1, 13 equals A1 plus 10. Then A1 has to be 3. Okay? Yeah. So you have A1 comes out. So if we know A1 and we know D, basically we can find out everything. The first term and common difference, then we can find everything we wanted. Okay? And what is the 10th term? 10th term. 10th term is the formula here. It's the first term plus all the time here is 10 minus 1 if here is 10. Or is 1 less than here. Because you want to add 9 differences starting with the first one. Okay, so the first one is A3 plus 9, 10 minus 1 is 9, times D. D is here. That's the general formula. Again, this formula you want to put in your mind. Okay, yeah. Starting with the first one. If here is 1, what happened? N is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 times D. So you add no difference. You have A1 equals A1. You add 1 difference. Here has to be 2. 2 minus 1 will be 1 difference. So you'll get a second term. Again, I explained how this formula works, why this formula is true. Okay. So 3 plus 9 differences, you'll get 10th term. Okay. So 5 times 9, yeah, and then, you know, 5 times 9 is 45. Then you add 3 is 48. Okay, so again with A1 and D, you can find any term you wanted. All right, then comes out to be the formula of the sum. The formula of the sum you want to read as many times as I repeat. The first term plus the second term times the number of terms divided by 2. Read something more like this. Repeat. You'll remember it. Okay? That's what I got. My teacher taught me. So, the first term is what? 3 plus the last term is 48 times the number of tenths. There are 10 tenths. Okay? Yeah, there are 10 tenths divided by 2. First term, last term, parentheses, times the number of tenths divided by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 48 plus 3 is 51. You do the multiplication, It's 255. Right down here. 51 times 5. 255. Okay. Now, let's see if we... There are 9 minutes now. So, all right. I'll talk to you later.